What's he doing? I don't know. Got the most gorgeous animal around. He's like, what's going on, Dad? Well, I got sick over the holidays. Had to deal with some stuff. Now we're back at the job. It's taken over like a couple weeks, 3 weeks, to put in a little bit of slap down floor. Yeah. We're trying to make this happen, make it look good, do it on a up and up kind of attitude. So here we are. We've got the floor finished in the kitchen, but you're probably wondering why there's a table saw or a chop saw. We didn't have the right transition strips because the original floor, which is this one, is higher than that one because that floor actually already comes with a padding underneath it. All right, 8 mil. Actually, a really good product. I don't say this too often, but I'm actually impressed. It clicks together nicely, like beautifully. Like really, it's actually well-made stuff. It's got that padding. The floor looks amazing. So we had to come up with a couple options of what we were going to do. Like, for instance, all the baseboard was tile everywhere. And we weren't sure what we were going to do. So seeming as everything is wood in here, I had some cedar kicking around, which is already pre-cut on the floor. And we're just going to slap that stuff down. So what the premise is, because we got to stain this, we're not just going to leave it like that. We're going to stain this, and we're going to pre-cut everything, and after we're done pre-cutting everything, then we're going to stain it. Because we ripped off casing. See this casing here? Oh yeah, we ripped all that off because it started crumbling as we took it off. And we're going to put wood there too. So right now, I got to make the casings fit underneath the counter. And this one fits pretty good here. If you push it in, you'll never get it out. So, I don't want it to be stuck. I need that flat pry bar. Oh, I got one in my pouch. Look at that. Need a flat pry bar. We're going to pry this loose. That's so snug under there. So you can see this stuff's been outside. It's a little weathered. But that's almost a perfect fit. I might even just take a little smidgen off of this. And so we're going to pre-cut all the baseboards, maybe throw a little 45 on the ones that are on the outside just to give it a little bit of a jam. Or leave it flat. I'm not sure. So we're going to obviously sand all this stuff. I had to bring the table saw in. I mean the miter saw because like I got to cut the plastic trim. So that was another thing that was a little bit challenging. Before we screwed down all these inserts, see that? And that's what holds the threshold down. That you just pop it in, that holds the threshold down. Now the problem was, if we can direct your attention to the floor, if I put this strip down, which I kind of was about to screw it in, and then I realized this is way too high, you can kind of see it's almost flush, but it's still not good enough to throw that down because now this can't clip into that. So we either have to raise this up or get a different piece, which they don't have anything like that. So what I did was, the leftover cedar, I ripped the strip And so this strip is going to get screwed down to the floor, down to here, and then this is going to get screwed onto that. And then now this is the right level to clip it in. It might even need to go a little bit more. Anyway, so that's basically how that's supposed to sit. And that's our transition strip from floor to floor. Now, I guess I should check it in other places. It fits pretty good. If this is screwed down nicely, that'll stay there. Yeah, it'll sit like that. It'll cover the old floor, and then it'll fit nicely in there. So we basically screw a strip down, then put the transition track or whatever you want to call this, and then throw that over top. So we probably should cut that now. Just make sure that it's nice and clean. There's a little bit of glue in there. And I'll just go tight. I'll go tight to this. I'll go tight to the. Got a little bit of coughing going on right now. Nothing too crazy, so I guess we could just put that in nice and tight back here. I might have to even cut the other one back a little bit. Okay, so there's that. That works out. And then this strip, that just clips in. That covers nicely. Now we just have to do something fancy in this corner here because we basically got to notch around to cover that. So that fits nice. And then we'll run our wood, our baseboard up and then cut around that, and then that should be pretty good. Should look nice and professional. There wasn't baseboard against this wall, but I have to double check, make sure everything fits nicely. But I might put baseboard all the way around. We got to see if the fridge fits, and then we got to stain everything. So there's a little bit of work. There's still a little bit of like fine details that need to be ironed out before we're done here. But then once it's done, it's done. It looks good. There's no complaints. People love it, and that's the way I like to do things, you know. So, with that said, right now what we got to do is I got to measure these baseboards, cut it, and remove this out of the way. This doesn't need to be here right now. Probably want to vacuum all that out before I put that down, because that's something that the daylight, we're losing daylight at 4:40. So we got to cut everything outside that we need first on the table saw, and then just make sure everything fits real good. My ankle is sore. So for now, we're going to head outside. And we're going to give those two pieces of wood just a little more trim on them. We're going to cut it a little bit smaller. So let's head on out there. Let me just grab the wood. Oh, they're leaning up on the counter. Counter's a little bit of a mess. I feel if I just take a smidgen off, they'll go in really nice, and I won't have to force them to fit. So, let's just head on outside, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here? We got somebody saying something here. Sheeta Riviera. Hi. How are you? So, here we are. You get to watch the craziness live right here. We're going to shrink this just a touch. Just a touch more. That'll be it there. Alright, that's pretty good there. Well, we got that. Let's go back inside. Take you guys for the ride. You see, there's so much wood everywhere, it was only fitting. Oh, that's great. My tripod just fell apart. Guess I need a new tripod. Silly. Just 1 second here. For whatever reason, that tripod decided to just, one part came off. The leg came out. Alright. Let's get back to this kitchen. Because now everything should fit. Everything should fit perfectly underneath these cabinets. Because they used to be tile. And now we're putting them in as is. So this should just slide in perfectly now. Oh, it's just so close. Let's just cut to length. I want to make sure that this fits good too. So we put this on. This is just the front cover for the stop the noise. And it's the same length. So I can just put this down. Make sure. Up to. We come up to the dishwasher. I need a screwdriver. There's one. We may as well make it as good as we can, like perfect as we can. So I'm gonna put this plate on. So our wood literally goes right up to we're going to put it in too tight. We're going to give it a little bit of room. Alright, so that's going to give us our measurements to how far we want the wood. Come up to the edge there. So we got 6 3/8 is what we're going to need for there. 6 3/8. We'll install that one. And then this one needs a 45. So we can go. Wow, 6 3/8 again. So let's cut 2 of those. I wonder if I should sand this before I cut it. That way it's I'm not sanding little pieces. Probably. Probably. I don't want to be sanding little. I want to sand it so that when I stain it, it's good. More light in here. So if we're going to sand this, hopefully I got some. I didn't bring my finishing sandpaper because this was never part of the plan. So hopefully we got something in here that's a little more not 80 grit. What are these ones at the top? 60. I think these are all. I think all of these guys are crazy grit. 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. Ah, these are all. Son of a. I didn't bring my sanding. Guess I'm gonna have to sand it. You know, maybe we'll just surf it. We'll just use an 80. We'll use an 80. And, oh, this thing doesn't even stick to this one that well. Okay. More challenges. So this one I know does stick to this. Oh, this isn't the 80. This is just another brand. Oh, good thing we got our vacuum cleaner hose not hooked up yet. And then we'll grab battery. Off of this guy. I don't know if you guys noticed. So that battery is pretty much half dead. And then I put in a baby battery. Like, that's a little guy. Compared to what I had in there. It was bigger than this. Because it was a 6 amp. Let me grab that. This is why I like Flex. So this is a 5 amp. And the 6 amp was even like, it's that much more chunkier. Right? Look at the difference between the two batteries. And even the small batteries, when they're fully charged, give you full power. And obviously the tool's lighter, so it's better, right? I gotta use the vacuum because I'm trying not to make a lot of dust in this place. And I was humming and hawing on how to get this job done. But the key was I had to bring the miter saw inside. That was the only way. Because to run in and out outside to make cuts just doesn't make sense. I want to keep the wood at the temperature of the house, so when I stain it, I have a propane bottle for the garage so I can heat up the garage. But I might even end up doing it in here, so that's kind of where we're at. But like, look at how well that really brings out the grains nicely. And it's not like an even pattern, but it looks good. So when we stain this is going to be beautiful baseboard. So yeah, that's kind of why I got this this miter saw in here. But it also serves as a bench too, which is pretty good. Like, so why not, right? We're just getting all the saw marks from the table saw off, but that's a beautiful piece of wood. It looks just wood, but it's a beautiful piece of wood. That's the beauty of, man, this is the best orbital sander I've ever used. Corded, not corded, cordless. It's unbelievable. This thing chews through everything, and that was on turbo mode, so it's running at its highest speed. But man, it is unbelievably good. Just, I can't even say enough about how good these are. So, oh shit. I'm screwed. Alright, so we've got all the pieces cut now, well, sanded. The reason why I sanded, and you know what, I might even just leave it at 80 grit. It looks fine. Nothing too crazy. Took all the silvering off. I sanded the top because it's easier to sand a big piece of wood than it is to sand a small piece of wood. So when I make these cuts, I won't have to sand the top. Some of them are going to be exposed, some of them are not. So we needed a 6 3/4. Oh, and this is the other thing I needed to do before I'm probably going to have to untape and tape this out several times because it doesn't really fit on this back part here. So just to kind of keep a lot of the dust contained. Like that didn't leave any dust, to be honest. Like the vacuum works really well on that palm sander. You've seen me in the past use a skill saw, but since we have this in here, because I want to make sure that I'm not saying that I can't do it, but why struggle if you don't have to? I want to make sure that I want to make sure that the 45s around the door frame are real good. So I'm trying to get all of the, did that thing break? Really? Oh, interesting. It was already broken. I want to make sure the 45s around the door is good. So, because I have the table saw set for the baseboard, I want to finish all the baseboard first, and then work on the trim around the door, and just get all the pieces cut and put in place. So, this one's under the cabinet. We're just going to butt these ones. Turn that on. It's not sliding very well, and it's not tied down anymore. Maybe because it's sitting in the garage. It's oil. But we don't have any oil, so 63/8, I remember. noticed it wasn't square. Perfect. Then we have an outside one at 658. Everything's so it's like I haven't used my tools in a while. Alright, so we did a 45 because that's an outside corner. Right down in that corner. So when this one comes around, we're gonna do something nice. Real nice for that. So this should fit nicely. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. There's something pushing on it though. There's a little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. Oh, caulking is what it is. Oh, smash my finger. That should fit nicely. Well then, there. For that piece, and this piece should slide in, but man, that's tight. I may never get that out once I put it in. Because the floor is a little bit a certain height. Wavy floor. Yeah, but that definitely fits that profile. It's a little off though. Fuck. You know, I gotta put a 45 on the back of this because there's a piece of plywood sticking out that won't let this sit flat. Son of a yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So there's a piece of plywood hitting this back part, so I'm gonna just cut that off. So when we put it in, we still have the baseboard butting into this face. So that should work out really good. The table saw is cutting a little. It's not bad. Could have been just how I sanded it. We got that one there. And this. what butts into my... I ended up cutting this piece slightly short because I cut it from the wrong. I was supposed to cut it 45, leaving the finished edge exposed, but I cut it backwards. So I'm just going to switch it around this time. I'm going to go this one, butt. And then I'll butt that one into that one. So we need, because the stove is super tight here, we need just to go to the edge of this, which is 50 3/4 plus 16. Let's see. Plus 16, that gives us that. That leaves us a little more for that. That one should. Man, it's just a little too tight there. Alright, whatever. I can only do what I can do. Where's my mark? It's right there. So let's walk on over. Walk on over to the chop saw. Miter saw, chop saw. Okay, now I know this one's going to be butting into. Man, everything needs to be oiled on this thing. I left it in the garage. Why is it being such a pain? Okay, so the other one's going to butt into that one. So will this just slide in? Oh, it will there. Perfect. That's a little tight though. It's tight in that corner. Of course it is. It'd be just too easy if it just went in nicely. Wouldn't it? See if we... Beautiful. So I know I can pry this out. That actually looks good as baseboard. Man. The floor is very uneven. And since no one's really going to be staring at this, I might have to sand that edge. But then this piece should literally, we do have to take 3/4 of an inch off. Let's just do this. Just mark it up too. So we just got to take off that bit for the face. There. I think a little bit of sanding would really fix it. So everything just goes nice and smooth together. Okay, so cut this guy. the vacuum on. Still got a little 45 on that. Yeah, that works out nice. Just the switching back and forth is going to be the pain. Okay, so we got this bottom piece done. I don't know if you could see and this guy is literally just gonna should just slide in. That just looks so good. If it worked out so beautifully. I'll be able to pop that off after. And then I'll really contain the dishwasher noise within the dishwasher. Okay, so we got that done. Now we need... Where's that other piece? This one looks like it needs to be cut more. Or just smacked underneath. That's all it needs. So we'll cut that one to length. Oh, there's my pencil. Just scribe it on the top here. And that way, we'll put that knot in the corner. We'll just flip it around. Yeah. All we gotta do. Boom. Cut that guy. Look at the baseboard already looks better if I zoom in than what was there. See that nice guy right there? All right. So that's some excess. Okay, so much for that. Fuck. I guess that's a reminder I should use it. Since I have it hooked up. Just not the right fitting for this. Okay, so we're gonna at least get this side in. is so tight. But it should be the same. Well, at least hold the floor down. Looking good. It's a little shy of where it's got to go. I'm gonna fix that later. Okay, so that baseboard, that kick plate, basically that's what it is, it's a kick plate. That one's done. That one's done. Now we gotta do, oh, we did that one. I'm gonna have to cut another one of these. You use this one because this is only 2 1/4. This has to get. That should be almost enough. Wait a minute, I'm gonna need it for that end piece. And over here too. Let's see what we got. Whatever that height is, let's see. Before I cut it, before I rip it with the table saw, I'm gonna make sure we got the right. Let me finish. You see that corner over there? Right over there. Right in there. Nicely here. It's just a smidgen too high. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it. I'm gonna have. If it's in that, okay. It's a little off. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Looks like I gotta put a piece here. So we've got one. Might have to just do the whole. Never finish. I'm gonna just cut this to that length. Will that be long enough to get us? Oh, still. You know what? I'm just gonna rip this one out. Then I'll have enough to do around this cabinet here, and I already have. I didn't cut the piece that fit perfectly here. That's the right one. Yeah. Alright, so we'll rip this one. You guys are probably wondering what I mean by rip. Rip means to cut with the grain. Or against, with the grain, yeah. Alright, so we're going to use this piece as our piece we got to rip. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Let's do this. It's like I'm making veneers. All right, back in we go. Back in we go. I think this will fit even better here now, though. Yeah, that part has to go through the cabinets. So we're going to flip this around. Because there's a break in the top. A little split right there. So it'd be better if I was on the ground. This one looks better here anyways. And that fits nicely. I was thinking of putting a 45 on the top of this, but to be honest, it looks real good like that. I should put a small piece. Small piece here first. Cut. Then there's a break here, so we'll have to cut that off anyways. So I need a piece at 1 7/8. With a 45. cut that little bit of the break off of it. See how it has that little break there? It will end up splitting over time. I just realized it's not sanded, so we may as well do that sanding. A little more light here. So it's not sanded. Oh my goodness. This is why these jobs take long sometimes, because stuff like having to retape, untape, bring in table saws. Like I must have spent like probably a few hours just setting up. Because I have to chisel the snow. I have to chisel the snow out of there, out of the way. And now we're got a sand. This is what it is. Part of the job. Okay. Vacuum on. Probably would work better if I wasn't using painter's tape. Alright, so I was cutting. You cut a little off this end. That small piece. Oh, I don't like that. I guess I could be at the bottom. Or I could cut it right off. That way I don't have to deal with it. We could do that. And flip this around. Because we need an outside edge. I need it facing down, that's why. So I had it at the other end. Because I can't have it facing up as a 45. Then I needed 1 7/8, I think it was. It's always easier to cut your 45 on a big, long board and then cut the small one after. It makes life a lot easier for you in the end. Just gonna double check this measurement. So we got 1 7. And then I think I had 1 7 here. Yeah, 1 7. Double check. 1 7. And I'll just line it up with that mark nicely. And that'll be that board. And that. I'm obviously going to sand all these again once they're done. So that is going to fit right in that little corner down there. This should just butt in. Boom. Looks good. Fits nice. Now we just gotta cut our other piece. This guy, I'm just gonna do this. And that butt looks good too. Perfect. That works out real good. So, I have this piece here. I had that small piece, and when we come around, it's gonna look good. I'm going to scribe the back of this. So let me just make sure everything fits perfectly. That goes like that, that goes like that. Sits nicely. Nicely. This way. You just gotta cut through. And 45 the back. This piece go nicely like that. As long as we can get all our cuts in, I'll be happy. Check it out. Here we are. So I scribed the back of this. I'm going to leave it a touch big. And then we just line up that blade with that edge. You'll probably see it better from here. I don't like how it tore that out though. Fuck. Why do you do that? I don't like how it tore that out. Let's just see if it fits good though. That's what we're gonna do. Just gonna check. I could use it somewhere else. It's not like it's the end of the world. But yeah, that works out real nice. Look at that. But it tore that corner out. I don't like that. Yeah, I'll have to recut that. That's the perfect 45. People are going to smash their toe on that, I'm sure. But it used to be tiled before, so it actually went almost flush to the counter space here. But we're trying to make something that's already been done a certain way different, and this is the best we could come up with right now. So I'm gonna have to recut this one, but I don't want to cut it out of that piece just yet, because I gotta make this piece fit over here for underneath this space. So I'm coughing a lot. Sorry, but I'm not exactly feeling the greatest, but here we are. This medication I'm taking right now. So we got 47 and 7/8. It'd almost be best to go 48. Just let it overhang on both sides just slightly. We can always cut it, we can't make it bigger. Let me cut that piece. I'm just gonna be over here. Down over here. goods. Alright. So we'll be able to cut this side. Alright, we just. Oh, I got that nicely cut. That piece should be one. It's weird. If I go from the other side, it does a tear out. But, because that's a really good blade on that saw. Shouldn't do that. Slide this baby underneath here. Oh. Oh, if it slides. Did I need to rip this too, or what? I thought I already did. Should just slide in. Slides from this end. It's a little tight on that other end. See how good it sticks out on the side. Sticks out a little bit. I feel like I should cut it just a touch more. See, look at that. Look at down there. Sticks out just a little bit. Hannah 1919. Hello, 6'7". 6'7". What's 6'7" supposed to mean, Hannah? Is that how long the piece should be? 6 foot 7 inches? Tell me. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. That's good there. I'm gonna have to pull that piece out and cut it. We're almost done underneath all the cabinets. See? Hannah, tell me what 6'7" is. See how it sticks out? Right on the top. Right there. Looks like I might have to cut. Yeah, I'm just not. You go 2 1/4. This piece. Oh, so close. It's not gonna line up perfectly. Mark. That's gonna be the face. It may just work out because you've got a little bit of a bump here, but let's cut this piece and see how that works. We might as well. Get it to come back. All right. That's how much longer it was. Well, let's just see. Okay. That's that piece. Now, I cut this piece straight, and then 45 it. And perfect 45. That's where we're working. That drywall being sticking out like that, that's going to be a pain. You gotta knock that back somehow. So it needs to be that tight. Either that, or I can cut the wood on the back. And I gotta do it for cut it back. Like that. Around. Well, that'll be interesting. You know, I could probably do that with the table saw. Actually, it'd probably be easier than trying to chisel that wood out. Get it to match. I think that's... And the tile will cover it. Yeah, that should work. But that'll be all the way here. Yeah, I guess if I measure that piece like that, like that. Okay, so if I run it through the table saw like this, I'll have some overcut down here, but I'll actually be able to see where. Oh, I want to make sure I have enough too. I need another piece. Oh, will this be enough? For this side? I think it will, and I won't need any more. Okay, I won't have to cut that one. I'll just have to cut these. Okay, we got enough. We got enough. Oh, sanded. Not sanded. That one's sanded. Alright, let's go outside. We can change the... I can change the piece on the table saw. Oh, first, we're gonna cut this backside so that it falls out. Oh, weird. It must have been frozen. Now it works. Must have been frozen before. I don't want to go too far. I want just around the line there. Got a little bit of light out here still, which is good. Get this done, and we can cut the rest, and we'll be done with this table saw project here. Let's try that. I didn't want to have to readjust this because it's already set. You know what? That looks pretty good right there. Now we just got to bring the blade up to a higher height. Just enough. Remember, danger. Hmm. In and out, in and out. Okay, let's check to see how this piece fits nicely down here. Me too. Slide this one. It'll be a compression fit. Oh my God, it's like we knew what we were doing. Look at that. Push it back slightly. Oh, I did need a piece for over there. Fuck. Didn't want to reset the table, so I need two pieces for there. I could literally cut a tiny little bit off of this. Very tiny little bit to make that line up perfectly. Perfect. Now, lines up nicely. It looks a little odd with the cabinet with it sticking out like that. But honestly, it's the best thing to fix what was already there that I can come up with. The only other thing I could have done was made the wood wafer thin, but like that's just so much extra work. I'd have to rip everything and yeah. This works good though. That looks good. I'm happy with that. This side has the tear out. So let's do this here. Now, I could just put a transition strip butt up against that. Then we just sand the end. This is the thing about making things custom, right? Put that in the corner. We'll sand this outer edge after. I can fit like that. I feel like, I don't know if I should 45. Make it look like it wraps around. Do it over there. It just might be how I have to do it. 45 it. Because that looks silly with the end. The stove is not so bad because the stove covers it up. But I don't like looking at that end. It should almost match going around. That would look better. Alright. Cut it out of the same piece. You cut it like so, 45 that way. Actually, I gotta go that way. But if it tears out, it's at the bottom, so it's not a big deal. Wait a minute. I'm about to cut that wrong. Yeah, no, I gotta go this way. Why it didn't cut all the way through? Fuck's sakes! Man, we don't design this saw properly. You can't pass it because of that stupid guard. Okay. It just looks nicer. I don't know why this is tearing out. At least that way, when you put them together, it's gonna look finished going around the corner. Weird. It's like that 45 does not line up. I don't know who set this, but I bought this saw last year. So it's not set up for 45. For fuck's sakes, on the other side, I gotta basically it's like a touch off. Actually, it is 45. It just doesn't look like it on this. It looks a little open. Alright, we'll just sand it so it fits nice and then call her uncle. Because with wood, it's just got to fit properly, or if it doesn't, you can't just fill it, right? So it has to look pretty much perfect. And then what we'll do is I'm going to cut that straight and end cap it, but I'm going to have to do this with I can't do it with the orbital, because it's too soft in the padding. So this is the easiest way to do it with a piece of wood and sandpaper. Which I just so happen to have. I take a block of wood, make it so that it fits, and then you can sit it right against it, and then it has to be straight. But you also don't want the edges going rounded. Looks pretty good. I almost should just cut that one more time. Get it straight as best as I can. fits. Yeah, see, that fits good. See how that grain matches going around? That's what you want. You want to look that good. And clean up the top edge, because once I cut this piece, it'll be so hard to, because I'm literally cutting it right there, and it's just going to be a cap for the end. I need to bring my glue gun. There, that works. So now we're just going to cut that sliver off. And that's how you make a nice end cap for your wood. And see, now that's going to sit against the wall. You definitely want to glue this together, because if you shoot this piece, it's just going to shatter. So now that's the end cap for the wall there. Why does it stick out so much? Did I not? What did I do? It's going to be so hard to cut that. I'll take 3/4 off of that little baby piece. That's going to be hard. Son of a hooer. You want to go outside? Yeah, I know you want to go. We always want to go. Most beautiful dog in the world. I love you. Yes, yes, I know. You're the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my God, I got 3/4 of an inch off that. That's gonna suck. Alright. I'm gonna have to use some ingenuity and hope we don't cut fingers off. But I got a way to do it. Don't do this at home. And if you do, it's not a good idea. Man, this is why you gotta cut it perfectly when it's long. Look at, man, that's gonna be so hard to cut. This is how. But cutting it straight is the next dilemma. Okay. Don't do this at home. Man. Trying to cut it straight at the same time is where the challenge lies. Oh my God. It worked out. Better than I thought. Don't do that at home. That's not how you should do it. COVID-19. Oh, because I'm coughing? No, it's because I'm taking antibiotics right now. Okay. That little baby piece with that little baby piece finishes that corner. Perfect. Okay. Now this piece. Time are we at now? Two hours, but it was like 3 or 4 hours before that we were working on. Oh. COVID-19, eh? People still talking about that stupidity? No? That's why you need the vacuum sucker on. A bit of dust. A little bit of dust. Maybe a little bit of dust on the Bible. That piece should just slide in nice and snug like. It seems like it's a bit long. Just short. What do we got? I think I can tap it back slightly. perfection everywhere. Right, I guess that means there's one more piece to cut, two more pieces to cut. Because these are all done. That other one is done. So if I that much off, yeah. Pretty much. But this all needs to be ripped. No, just this piece. So I cut that off. And this one can be the door trim for above. For above. Let's see how many other pieces I got left. Oh, it's already 5. Wow. We need to put this trim on the door. Will it be enough to cover? Questioning. Because I think the one piece I got. Oh, it just. Put a line there. You gotta pee outside? Go pee. I thought I just put a line there. Right there. Of course, they put it right where the security thing was. If I cover the line slightly. So if you make a line, then you can follow that line with your door trim nicely. Alright. Want to come inside? Come here. Let me just kind of follow this shit all the way around. Make your line. Now you got lines to measure to. So like say I want to take my top measurement. Now I can measure from that line to that line and get a perfect measurement. So we are 32 and a quarter plus a 16th. And that should be my measurement for, whoa, that should be my measurement. Hopefully that doesn't line up on that knot. Oh, it's literally of course. It's right where the knot. I shouldn't have cut that piece off until son of a. I could have hit the knot on the floor somewhere. Alright, whatever. Can't make everything perfect. The shitty thing is now I got this extra piece of wood for nothing. Unless I can if I cut from this end. Let's go 45. That'll actually work out better. Where are these little bugs coming from? Where are you coming from, little bug? Why? Well, they must be coming in. Okay, so let's just have a little peek. A little peek of what it's going to look like. Because now I'm able to hide that knot above the door. So this piece will go right there to there. Oh, works out. Perfect. Okay, yeah. We just got to sand that piece. And I'm just gonna double check. I think I got more in the hallway there. Might have to cut as door jamb. We'll cut it over there, but I gotta go grab a piece. Really? That's all on one switch? Look at the light just burn out. I think the light just burned out. Let's see. Light burned out. I can't see. What are you barking for? I just want to make sure this 45 works out good first. So I have a piece from the cutoff so I can check. Am I holding it in the right spot? Oh my. Looks superb. 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 That. Lines up perfectly there. Of course it moved. Lines up perfectly there. Perfect. Like it. Okay, so left side. From the ground to there, we need 82. It's actually 81 7/8. Okay, so we got that. I had working in a dark room over there. I feel like man, I hope I didn't cut that too short. Well, I knew I should have cut it from the 45 first. I was cutting this knot off because, you know, it would have looked nice, but like at the same time it'll crack and do all kinds of stuff. And by cutting the knot off, I cut off too much. I didn't leave enough. And I won't have enough. Fuck. Oh, I got extra wood, I guess. That's basically what I got. So I guess I have to make another. Oh my god. Going nuts. Tired. Crazy. $82. This one's got lots of knots in it too, but could use that for something later, I guess. Let's cut off this knot here. hide this one by the door jamb. Double check. Don't want to cut it 50 times and it'd be too small now. Yeah. Still 8 feet. Okay. So I'm going to measure that one for the back side as well. Maybe 1 7, surprisingly. That fits on the other side too. Mark. Alright, that just needs to be sanded. That can be that can be this side here. A little bit crooked. Okay. This gonna be challenging to put in. I might have to make another top piece. Because the door hinges are a little farther over. The 45s line up. This needs to be a touch longer. And we need to take a little bit off the bottom. Just a little bit. Just a little bit off the bottom. Yeah, it has got a bit of a hook in it. Well, that's good to know. Little bit of a hook in it. I think I can bend it. Let's just try. Yeah, it'll bend. That piece works for there. Good thing we got an extra piece. This one has to be 30. It's got to be a little bit bigger. My line didn't work out. 32 and a half. I gotta go cut some more. I'm gonna take my my medications. Might as well do that now. Alright, so we got that. We need some water for that. We'll use this clean stick. So I don't know if you know this, but when you take antibiotics, this is a good product. It's called Florastor, and it stops the antibiotics from killing all the good bacteria in your stomach and only killing the stuff that's no good. Because it keeps replenishing it. So they say it's supposed to taste like fruit punch, but that's what it says on the box. Or maybe that was the other pack. Yeah, it says that's French. Fruit punch flavor tastes nothing like fruit punch. But anytime you're taking antibiotics, which I don't take almost ever. I gotta take these 4 times a day. So morning, lunch, and may irritate your stomach. Important to take medication, prescribed duration. Anyways, so take that, and then there's the Florastor. Right there, you can't really see it. It looks like water with foam. Oh. This thing's got 30 packages. I think I need to get another box. And right after you're done taking antibiotics, it's also good practice to get some good probiotics. That's what this is supposed to be. But I think I'll add some probiotics after to it. It'll be good. But right now, what I need to do is I need to cut. Man, I'm tired. It's getting cold out. I'm almost done though, all the baseboard. Then I just gotta stain it and then shoot it on. What should I do? What should I do, ladies and gentlemen? Well, sorry. I'm just gonna end the live. I need to listen to music while I do this because my patience is running thin. All right, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Mickey Jack here. You guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up, watching the channel. Also liking and subscribing, and telling all your friends. I like all those. What do you call it? Oh man, I'm just too tired to talk right now. But thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great night. Bye bye.